Srikanth Kondapalli, who is Professor of Chinese Studies at Jawaharlal Nehru University. Lovely to have you with us here on the programme. So that PMI data suggesting that factory activity is still expanding, great, but at a slower pace. So how are you interpreting this signal?
As you mentioned, the PMI index has slightly come down. Basically, that includes the output, new orders, employment generation, and the supplies. So there is an issue here in terms of the output. But some of the indicators like the production sub-index has actually risen 51.2%. compared to the overall PMI, which is 50.0. So there is a contraction here overall, but production sub-index are relatively better, even though there is a slow in output of the industrial output. New orders have seen actually less takers because of, as you mentioned, the geopolitics, the tariffs by the United States and the Middle East conflict has affected the new orders. For example, China has $400 billion of overall trade with the Middle East, and because of the conflict and shutdown in Strait of Hormuz, there has been some contraction here in terms of the new orders. On the non-manufacturing sector, that is services, we have seen actually 50.1% of the growth. So it's a very slight on the outlier, the growth rate. So we have to see how it pan out in the near future. So this is the PMI overall contraction, 50.1. So there is a concern here compared to the previous months in January, which is 49.3. In February, 49.0, in March, 50.5, and in April, 50.3. There is a variation here, but we have to see in the 15th five-year plan, the Chinese government mentioned about 4.5 to 5% growth rate. And in March, there was a rebound for almost 5% growth rate. In the first quarter, we have to see how this quarter, the second quarter, will pan out. So there is that issue as well. And in the retail sector, yeah.
I'm just going to jump in very quickly. If Beijing does decide to go with the idea of another stimulus package, well, first off, how likely is it that they do go for it? But what risks would come with that, Professor?
That would be quite dicey because they did experiment during the Asian financial crisis in '97 and in global financial crisis in 2007-8 when they laid down the stimulus packages. Infrastructure development, local governments given more money for infrastructure, etc., has been the 97-2008. But China became more wiser because this is leading to lot of debt. The stimulus package is leading to a lot of debt. And so that's a major concern because China is nearly 278% debt ratio is reflected. And so there is an issue here on the concern on the debt related. There is also triggering the assets and equity bubbles because of the stimulus package. And so there is some concern. And most important, there is the deepening of structural overcapacity. China is producing more, 1 billion tons of steel, 54% of global cement output, and on other manufacturing indicators, 56% of the global EVs, 90-odd percentage of solar panels across the globe. So this overcapacity is leading to glut and, of course, also attracting some geopolitical tensions with the United States on the tariffs.
Professor Kondapalli, thank you so much for that. Thank you.